So very good evening to all of you. In our last lecture, we discussed about the nervous system of human. We talked about CNS, PNS. We learned about transmission of impulse, and apart from that, we learned about reflex action too. So today, the topic of discussion is mainly sense organs. So one by one, we will talk about 5 sense organs possessed by us, and we will know about the structure of these sense organs, and we will know how they work, what is the functionality of the sense organs. So we will start our discussion for the first sense organ named eye. So eye is one of the most complex sense organs, and the receptors present in eye are the photoreceptors. They can sense light. So what is the location of eye? Eye is located in the socket. So what is this socket? In skull region, there is a socket. What is this socket? Socket is the hole present in the skull region where the eye is located. But obviously, we need to understand, although the eye is located into the socket, it is a very important part and delicate part. So obviously, protection of this eye should be maintained in a way that it is attached with the backside part of the socket with various muscles. You already know, last lecture we discussed about the cranial nerves, isn't it? So we already know that these cranial nerves are responsible for movement of the eye. So these nerves will send impulse depending on the other sense organs activity. For example, when I am teaching you, I always look towards all of you. The moment if he is going to ask me a doubt, I will be able to hear that sound and immediately I will point my eyes towards Didi. So this kind of way, we can move our eyes in 180 degree like this. Apart from that, left, right, top, bottom, and all angles. So we are connected with the inner core of the socket via fibrous tissue. Apart from that, they are connected to various nerves which are responsible for control of their movement. Apart from that, we have eyelashes and eyelids. They are also very much important. Why? Because eyelids are responsible for closing of the eye. Okay. This closing will ensure that anything harmful for the eye should not come into it. We studied about reflex action in our last lecture, and we discussed there that if anything, any sudden blow of wind or any kind of object coming towards you, the first reaction without thinking we have is to be close our eyes. This is a reflex action which maintains that eyes are protected. So if we have eyelids, why do we should have eye lashes also? Not for application of mascara definitely. So what are the roles of eyelashes? Anyone? So the eyelash is black hairs. What are their roles? That means Ayushi doesn't know where mascara is. They are hairs. How can they keep eyes moist? Anyone? Online students? Reason for class? So they are responsible for trapping the dust particles because eyelid it is a big structure. And if it is here, the surface area of entrapment will increase. They are there for the protection of that. They are trapping the dust and dirt coming on the. So this is how our eye is protected. So actually, when we look and we draw the diagram of eye, we always draw with the eye lashes and eye beads. But actually, they look scary. If you see diagram of a ghost, or in a concal, there is the skeleton, there are eyeballs. Eyeballs are quite naked, and they are basically a spherical structure which are covered by eyelids and eyelashes. Okay, so this round structure is made up of three basic layers. Okay, we will learn about three of them one by one. But let me first draw the diagram. It will take some time for me to draw the diagram. Okay. So let us have a look into different parts of eyes, and I will first label them and then we will discuss them about detail. I want all of you to have a look into them. Okay. So this part is known as conjunctiva. I think I need to write a Vishal, is the labeling visible to all of you, beta?
Ma'am, it's not clear.
It's not clear. I will use a different color. I guess now it is clear. Is it clear, Saloni?
Yes, ma'am, now it's clear.
So now I will talk about this green layer. This one. This is known as cornea. Okay. Now the backward extension of the same layer, which is present here, I demarcated it from cornea by putting black colored lines in the green area. Okay, that is known as sclera. Now, this part will have a fluid which is known as aqueous humor. Okay. Now, these two blue colored structures, in this diagram, I am drawing them as two flaps like this, but they are not actually like this. They are like the lens cover of camera. If you go for a good quality Polaroid camera, you must have seen when you twist, the lens cover get closed like this. That means it is made up of small flaps and they get closed like this. So these two muscles, I am taking a cross section of eye. It is a cross section of eye. That means if this is the eyeball, I cut it like this, and you are seeing the different layers. Okay. Now this layer, although it is appearing as a rod-like structure, it is not rod-like structure. It is a ring-like structure. Okay. And when the muscle of this ring-like structure gets contracted or expanded, depending on contraction and expansion conditions, this ring-like structure will be circular or ring. When it is totally closed, it will be like a circle. It will be closed like this, and slowly and steadily it can open like this. Understood? So this is the way it acts. So this is known as iris. That's why in our compound microscope, I taught you people structure of microscope. At the bottom part, just below the condenser lens, there is similar kind of structure, which controls the amount of light into the microscope. That is also known as diaphragm, which is similar to the iris. Now, here will be the muscular structure called this one, ciliary body. And one of the most important part of our eye is the lens. You will be astonished to know that this lens is not made up of glass. It is made up of protein. Okay? So, lens inside the eye, if you see, can you see this black colored layer? This is known as choroid. Okay? And then this red colored layer is known as retina. Behind the lens, there is a chamber. So whole eye can be divided into two chambers. One is before lens, another is after lens. So before lens, I demarcated them with green dots. So before lens, there is a very watery fluid present. I already mentioned the name, which is known as aqueous fluid. After the lens, there is another fluid which is known as vitreous fluid. This part is known as yellow spot. This is known as light spot. And here is the optic. So this is the basic structure of eyes. I want all of you to label this diagram in the diagram drawn by him. Label different parts so that while you draw, if you are having doubt, कि ma'am कौन सा structure है, let me know. I will show you the point. Okay? Red layer. It's a part of retina. It is shown as a depression in retina. You can see there is a depression there. You forgot to mention that depression. That's right. So here it is mentioned as a depression in the retina. Here is a depression in the retina. Labeled. I labeled iris. It's not looking like a lens. It's like a flap. So, you people must be wondering that eye is having such a complicated structure. अभी तक तो हमने सिर्फ और सिर्फ उसको draw करके major part label किया है. I want you to label. Then you take a picture. I don't mind. Okay, but let me tell you, that's why the study of eye is known as, do you know what we call as a study of eye? Ophthalmology. Okay, and people who have specialization in study of eye are known as ophthalmologists. Okay, so do not get confused about opticians and ophthalmologists. कई बार चश्मे के दुकान पे आप देखोगे वो लोग जो ophthalmologist यानी जो डॉक्टर होते हैं, they help them to check if you about your power by inserting lens in a spec. They are opticians. But for any eye problem, you should not only consult optician. They may not know about the internal defect. You need to consult an ophthalmologist. Okay, so inside orbit, such huge structure is accommodated, and it is accommodated by a cushion of adipose tissue, because if I am getting hurt anywhere here, the eyes go inside, so they need to have a cushion. So they have a cushion of adipose tissue. They have lots of blood vessels through which they are constant under circulation. So we will learn about these layers one by one. So you can see that in eye, totally eye is made up of three major layers. The outermost one is known as sclera. Okay, so this sclera layer is comprising 5 by 6 layer of the outermost layer. Can you tell me which color is the outermost layer? Green. Now, can you see that the whole green color, I demarcated them into two types? One where I put lines like this, and the other where there is no line. So the area where there is no line, which is in fact in the front of our eye, is known as cornea. And the rest of the 5 by 6 part. So if total eye layer is 6, 1 by 6 part is cornea, and 5 by 6 part is sclera. Okay, so what is sclera? The main role of sclera is to go for protection. So it is made up of fibrous tissue. Okay, fibrous tissue is there. This part is not allowing any light to pass. So in our eyes, can you tell me which area is very important? If anyone got any kind of damage in the white area, will it affect the person? Not that. Obviously, depending on the depth of wound, but it doesn't affect, because that part is only there for protection. So if damage is only at the exterior part, it will not affect much. But the black part, in case of mine, it is black. Everyone is having different kind of cornea color. So that part is mainly responsible for vision. So light can pass through that layer. So cornea is the layer through which light can be passed, and sclera is the layer through which light cannot pass. So in our eye, this black part is the most important part. So the sclera is obviously opaque. As I said, it cannot allow the passage of light. Apart from that, it is bluish white in color. Lots of fibrous tissue is present there, and most of the area of sclera is actually we cannot see. How much we can see? Small wala part. At the back side also, outermost layer is what? Sclera only. Understood? So it is the part which is visible from outside. That means between the eyelids. The area is covered by a transparent membrane which is known as conjunctiva. It is known as conjunctiva. Why this is required? It acts as a lamination. जैसे आप important documents को क्या करते हो? You laminate them, no? So similarly, it acts as a lamination. So in this picture, I hope everyone can see the conjunctiva. Can all of you see? Yes. Okay. So cornea is not a fibrous layer, and it needs to be transparent because light has to pass through it. So the way sclera is made up of fibrous epithelium, cornea is not made up of that. Cornea is made up of what? Cornea is made up of squamous epithelium. And very simple squamous epithelium is there. It is always in a moist condition. It is flooded with lymph. Can you tell me why it should be flooded with lymph? Lymph should be always there. Apart from that, tear gland is ensuring that it should be moisture. It should be nourished, well nourished and moist. Why lymph is playing a role here? What role do you think lymph must be like? So obviously in eye, this part is the most important part because it will help the passage of light to the retina. So if there is any damage to this part, light cannot reach to retina. So we need to protect it from infection. That's why it is always passed. And the squamous epithelium present over here is non-keratinized. They don't have keratin present because keratin will make it opaque. And it is a stratified squamous epithelium which is only present in case of eyes. Special type of stratified squamous epithelium is making the cornea. Now we will talk about the curvature of cornea. Can you locate here? If you see sclera, it is having a spherical like shape. At the place of cornea, there is a bend. The shape of eyes are not exactly round. At the front portion, there is some kind of protrusion. Can you tell me why cornea should have this bent structure? I hope everyone are writing these points. So now we will talk about conjunctiva. एक बीमारी है, हम सभी बोलते हैं आँख आया है. There is burning sensation in eyes. There is constant fluid coming out of eye, and the mucus, or rather to say, the dirt of eye is produced. Sometimes what happens if you are not cleaning your eyes regularly, you will not be able to open your eye in the morning. The eyes get fixed with that deposition coming out of eye. Okay, so why that is occurring? It is the infection in the conjunctiva. That's why that infection is known as conjunctivitis. Itis, inflammation, infection, and conjunctiva, so conjunctivitis. So generally antibiotic drops are provided, and it is suggested. That's why we should not use chemical cosmetics which are harmful for eyes, and we should not touch our eyes many a times. For example, I am rubbing board with this. If I am touching the eyelid, I am touching is not a problem, but I should not touch the white or the black part of the eye. Okay, so the outermost parts are done. Now, this conjunctiva is not only covering the cornea, it is covering the sclera also, the front part of sclera, the white part that is visible. So I asked you one question that here in this case, there is a bulge out. The cornea is acting as a bulge. What is the reason? Can you suggest? So it is that bend is ensuring maximum refraction of light. So I guess you know the concept of vision. When I am seeing that Yesha is wearing a red mask, why I am seeing that color of that mask is red? Red light is fast. All lights are very. So basically, to see something, I need an object from which light, source of illumination from which light will come, an object on which light will fall and it will come back to me. Many a time, source of illumination can be the object also, but source of illumination is required because without light, even if object is there, we cannot see, and we need to collect the maximum amount of light. So out of the light rays which is reflected by mask of Yesha, the maximum amount of light will reach to my eyes. I will have better detailed vision of Yesha's. Understood? Is this part understood? अगर उसकी mask में से 100 light beams मेरे, just consider 100 light beams are reaching to my eyes. Out of 100 are reaching to my eyes. I will have most detailed vision. उसमें कहाँ पे कौन सी portion पे थोड़ी सफेद है, काला है, क्या डिजाइन है, एक कीड़ा चिपका हुआ होगा तो ऐसा सब चीजें हमें पता चले. But if it is 40, then I will be able to just see the color, but the detail is not there. So obviously, the light beams coming to our eyes should reach to our lens. And for that, this bending is promoting maximum refraction. Done? So now we will talk about the second layer of eye. Can you tell me the color of the second layer after this sclera and cornea? Choroid. Okay. So this choroid layer, unlike the sclera and cornea, sclera is for protection, cornea is for passage of light. Choroid layer is dark in color. So this is dark because of two reasons. One is the pigment present in this region. Lot many types of pigments are present. And second reason is it is having lot many blood vessels. So Rutu asked me why we cannot see blood vessels, because they are mainly located in the choroid layer. So why this dark colored background is required? What will be the role? So light आनी चाहिए, नहीं आनी चाहिए, what is the situation? If for your information, sclera is opaque, बेटा. तो लाइट कैसे बाहर चली जाएगी अचानक? फिर पता चला ये शायद ऐसी खड़ी है, पीछे से लाइट निकल रही है. हेलो, नॉट एलियन, गॉडेस. पीछे हेलो दिखता है ना गॉडेस के. So I'm sorry, this is not the situation, unfortunately. Any reason? Have you ever studied about basic camera, pinhole camera or camera? कैमरा में एक डार्क बैकग्राउंड होता है, व्हाइट. It gives you a backdrop under which image can be produced, because the image will be produced in retina. So retina is the innermost layer marked as red layer. Just be at the backdrop of it, there will be this choroid layer which will act as a black background, which will help in the proper. So now this choroid layer is extended into two formation of two parts. One is the iris and other is the ciliary body. Choroid layer is extending at the front of lens into as iris, and it is hanging the lens in the form of ciliary body. I request everyone to have a look into their diagram or my diagram and confirm the location. Any doubt? Okay. So what is iris? It's a kind of sphincter muscle. Have you ever heard about sphincter muscle? Where it is present? So it is a circular muscle which open and close to increase or decrease the diameter of a pipe, isn't it? So iris, as I said, it is looking as if two dangling surfaces, but it's not like that. It is cross section. Actually, it is a ring-like muscle. So iris is very, 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 very important. Why? Very good. So it is just located at the junction of cornea and sclera. Means after iris there will be sclera, and before iris there will be cornea. So it is located just like that. Now the pore which is present or which is created by iris is known as pupil. So how is this pore created? When the iris is contracted or expanded, the inside there is a pore created. Okay, the diameter of that pore is increasing or decreasing. I wish to mark that pore so that people will be able to understand it. This is the pore, which is known as pupil. Okay, all of you must have seen there are detailed photographies available which shows you the opening and closing, or rather to say change in diameter of pupil. Why we need to have this pupil diameter to be controlled? Bolo? Any one of you? So there should be a small size. Why we need to then dilate it? We use the terminology as contraction and dilation, isn't it? That means for making the image formation successful, we need to have a specific size of pupil. So in case, for example, this room is well illuminated. A specific size of pupil is required. If I switch off a few lights, then also up to a limit, my eye will want to try to visualize the things. Okay, but at that time, the pupil size should be dilated. Why? Because amount of light available is less. So the size of pupil, if it is dilated, then what will happen? More light can be, because already come here. As it is very less, so you will try to reap maximum, and for reaping maximum amount of light, you need to make the diameter of your pupil more, isn't it? So that's why you need to remember one thing very clearly. When iris contract, what? Contract. At the time, the pupils are getting smaller. There is contraction of iris, pupils are getting smaller. That means more amount of light will go inside or less? Less. And when the iris is relaxed, the pupil is dilated and more amount of light can go inside. So that is why when we, like if I am in a dark room, suddenly I come into sunlight. For a time being, we are not able to see anything. And opposite, from sunlight to dark room, we are not able to see anything. What is the reason? When I am in a dark room, the pupil are contracted or expanded? Expanded. Pupil are expanded. So iris is contracted or expanded or relaxed? Iris are relaxed. So maximum amount of light is coming inside. But as soon as I am going inside into sunlight, the pupil is so big, too much light will come inside. and retina will not be able to make a image. Why? We will be bedazzled by such a huge amount of light. इतनी ज़्यादा amount में light मिलने की वजह से the eyes will go bedazzled. So what will happen? Slowly and steadily, by sensing that, the iris will get contracted so that the pupil size will get smaller and small amount of light can go. Okay. So this is something very important activity formed by pupil. Okay. Now, other than this eye pupil or iris muscle, depending on the color of iris muscle, we get the color of eye. So if iris muscle is having blue pigment, the color of the eye, inner part of eye will be bluish. If it is black, it will be blackish. Understood? Because cornea is almost transparent. So the color is responsible for the color of iris. So you can note this down, this point. Iris, whatever pigment present in iris will decide the color of eye. Iris is a muscle only. So have you seen albino people? Never seen them. So I taught them about albinism. It is a kind of mutation, where we have a pigment called melanin in our skin, and it is very much required. People feel bad if they are having dark complexion because it is, but let me tell you, it is healthier. Because melanin is the umbrella which protect our skin from harmful rays of sun. Okay, so if there is a person who is albino, they don't have any pigment in their eye. That's why they cannot tolerate the direct sunlight. They are totally white. Their hair is white. Their skin is white. If you look into their eye, this eye part which is black in me is pinkish. They have. Must. They cannot go out, beta. They have skin burn if they go out in the sun. It is a mutation. You cannot help. Obviously. The change in DNA, which is an inheritable disease. इनमें होता है उनको albino को. And not only human being, there can be presence of albino animals also. They are equally sensitive. जैसे आपने सफेद हाथी और ये सब के बारे में सुना होगा, शेर, सफेद. They are nothing but albino animals. But it is very difficult. They generally don't survive because albino बच्चा होने में माँ बाप उसको ध्यान रखते हैं. But generally शेर को तो शिकार करके खाना पड़ता है. They don't have such facility के मम्मा उसको गोदी में लेके. So iris part is clear. You wrote about albinos. Okay. So now I will talk about next very important part of this choroid layer. Yes, Rutu is having a question. तुम्हारी जीन. That will be decided by your gene. घर पे किसी के ब्लैक आई बॉल नहीं है तो फिर तुम कॉन्टैक्ट लेंस खरीद सकते हो. That's best you can do. ब्लैक ही चाहिए ना तो खुश हो, फिर क्यों सोच रहे. I just wish to say about something extra here for both grade 11, 12 standard students. Generally, I talk about this kind of thing. There is a disease, I should not call it a disease, a kind of symptoms called heterochromia, where an animal is having two different color of eyeball. No. क्रोमियम। सोचो एक इंसान जिसकी एक आई कलर ग्रीन दूसरी ब्लैक। कैट्स में भी होता है, कैट्स में होता है तो चलो, बट इंसान में हो तो फिर बहुत डिफिकल्ट। एंड देन एक हमारी आदत है ना देखने की। One of my friend had this and she, मतलब throughout her whole life she used to wear one contact lens, क्योंकि दोनों ब्लैक करना था उसको। Done? Can we move ahead? Sure. Now I just want to talk about ciliary body. So what is this ciliary body? Ciliary body is the other muscular structure which is hanging the lens. The lens is dangled with the ciliary body. Now the question is, why lens should be dangled? We can fix it, no? हमारे चश्मे का जो लेंस होता है, it is just a lens which is like fixed in a frame, isn't it? इसको हमें dangle करने की जरूरत नहीं. But our eye lens is to be dangled. लटका हुआ रहता है. हेटेरोक्रोमिया. हम थोड़ा स्लो चल रहे हैं, वो टॉपिक हम छोड़ के आगे चल पड़े. Now I am talking about ciliary body. So ciliary body can be like circular. There can be one type. Ciliary body can have a circular muscle or it can have meridional muscle like this. So they are responsible for hanging the eyelids. Think about it. You know why it should be hanged. Have you ever heard about the terminology called power of accommodation? So what is it? That is controlled by iris. Tell me. Pupils के according ही lens होता है. We need to focus. Have you ever seen in camera the lens going up and back? What do we mean by this word of focus? I want a definition of focus. All of you studied it in grade 10, 11th वाले तो अभी पढ़ भी रहे होंगे. You have light chapter, no? 12th वाले. 12th physics as light. So if a grade 11, 12 student cannot give me the definition of focus, then so you need to keep the object at F as per your definition. जाके क्या intersect करता है और it appears to come out of that point from principal axis is focus. That means the best image is formed in focus, isn't it? So basically the function of the ciliary body is to provide the power of accommodation. You must have seen that when like this specs of mine is bifocal. You cannot see the line, but it is bifocal. That means this part the lens I am having and this part the lens I am having different. I am wearing it because my power of accommodation is weak. Thanks to online class. Okay. So you need to understand what is this power of accommodation. Ciliary muscle will drag or lose the lens like this. So if consider this is a structure which is elastic. Our lens present in eye is an elastic structure which is convex in shape. Biconvex means you can see that the outer surface is curved and inner surface is also curved. But the curvature of inner surface is more. And you can see the ciliary body is attached to the two ends of this lens. So what will happen, beta? Whenever there is focusing is required, I am looking into a nearest object. I am looking into what? A nearest object. Or let us start with distant because I am looking into Manashri. Okay, Manashri, can I? So when I am looking into Manashri, she is staying distant to me. Distant means how we will decide what is distant object. Do you know the point up to which we can see? 25. हमेशा मतलब why you people skip the unit? 500 quintal gram kg what it is? 25 centimeter. Very good. So 25 centimeter is the minimum distance required by an object. Like all of you can try this. Take a pen like this. कितनी भी टेढ़ी कर लो, you cannot see. So that minimum is 25 and maximum is infinity. Why infinity? Because I may have some, Ritu may have a sharp eyes and she can see even like smallest thing which I cannot see. So when I am looking into a distant object means it should be beyond 60. Beyond 60, then we can call it a distant object. So, or 6 meters, the way you want to place it. So, I can look into distant object when the thickness of the lens is minimum. You learned about the concept of radius of curvature. What relationship it has with the focal length? Radius of curvature. Very good. I'm very happy. Someone at least. Okay. That is power. Power is equal to 1/8. Okay. So our radius of curvature will decide the focus. Okay. So when I am looking into an object which is distant, at that time, the light rays that is coming to my eyes are mostly parallel, isn't it? All of you must have drawn optical diagram that light rays coming from distant object in general is parallel. So at this time, the ciliary muscles are fully relaxed and the thickness ciliary muscles and suspensory ligament, I must mention here, I talk the ciliary body is having two parts. This is called ciliary muscle. And this thread-like structure which is suspending the lens is called the suspensory or suspensory fiber. So the way in case of iris, you need to have a clear idea कि जब iris कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है तो प्यूपिल डायलेटेड होता है या शॉर्ट होता है, दैट यू नीड टू नो. Similarly, you have to understand three relationship in case of iris. We need to know the contraction of iris, size of pupil, and amount of light. You should write somewhere with that. Bolo matlab I told you. No, look into the notes and every time spoon feeding. Basically, these are the parts you are studying for the second time, isn't it? देखो अभी बुक खोल के देखेंगे, मतलब तुम समझे नहीं हो. और जब होगा तो वो ब्राइटर होगा. But amount of light that is going inside will be less, no? You are correct. Any doubts? Position of iris. All of you should know these things, you know, not for passing 12th grade or not for qualification of things. If someday your child asks you about such kind of questions, you will not have anyone to cry, any shoulder to cry upon. Because children ask very intelligent questions. Ayushi is smiling. She wished to say something. Yes, Ayushi? Now we will talk about ciliary body. So I want everyone to write this point to the point that whenever the ciliary muscles are relaxed, the suspensory ligaments are under maximum tension and the lens is flat. Ciliary muscle is fully relaxed, the suspensory ligaments are under maximum tension. So maximum tension means it will pull lens like this. So if you are having a jelly like structure and if you are pulling it like this, समझो एक मम्मी ने तुम्हें गोला बना के दिया आटा से, उसको दो हिस्से से ऐसे खींचोगे, so what will happen? The thickness will reduce, na? So same way as the suspensory ligament is pulling the lens will get flat, and that is the way I can see Manashri. So Manashri, how can I see you? Tell me. One moment your name is Manashri, no na? Let her tell. When I can see you, beta? I cannot hear her. Can I have silence? Manashri, where was your attention? Beta, we cannot be such slow, na? We cannot be such slow. What about Saloni, Krishang and Srujal? You noted down this point, beta? Have you noted down? Great. So, Krishang is showing me thumbs up. And it is exactly opposite in case of when I am focusing towards this nearest object. That means I am looking into keyboard of my system. That means what will happen at that time? Will get contracted. So the suspensory ligament are not at all in tension and the lens will be at its original shape and it will be thick. So when it is thick, the radius of curvature is more. And you need to remember the relationship between R is equal to 2. Everywhere physics, chemistry and biology is ruling along with maths and English. Okay, so this part is clear to everyone? Great. So this is called power of accommodation. So this property of our eye to adjust the focus by thickening and flattening of the lens is called power of accommodation. So kindly write down about power of accommodation. This is the property of our eyes. Power of accommodation is the property of our eyes to adjust the focal length by changing the radius of curvature of eye. नॉर्मल क्या है? हाँ नहीं, बट नॉर्मल क्या है? मतलब मैं मनुष्य की तरफ देखूं तो वो नॉर्मल नहीं है, मैं कीबोर्ड की तरफ देखूं तो वो नॉर्मल. पर बेटा नॉर्मल वर्ड इज नॉट एप्लीकेबल हियर. Why do you think distant is normal? That means nearest is abnormal. When I'm looking at to Manashri, that is normal. When I'm looking into Rutu, that is abnormal. This word should not be used. You should always describe it as distant and near. Understood? Ab batao. Radius of curvature is more when I'm looking into nearest of them. Okay. Now, we will talk about the two fluids or jelly-like structure. The outer one, which is present into the cavity before lens, is called aqueous humor, and the one which is present backside is known as vitreous humor. Now you must be knowing कि मैम क्या फर्क पड़ता है एक ही नाम रख के एक ही फ्लूइड रख लेते. Do you think it will work? Why not? That will decided by iris, not by fluid. Why we require fluid? Chalo, one part is moisture. Can you tell me another reason? Kind of close. Very good, very good. So always remember, when light is entering into our eye, it is entering from air. Then it is going to the conjunctiva, cornea, and finally entering inside. So the fluid which is present there is quite liquid. It is quite liquid. Why? Because it should have minimum, not minimum, it should have adequate density as compared with the cornea and conjunctiva. Whereas now after this, a light will pass through pupil and then it will hit which part of eye? Lens. After passing through pupil, it will hit where? Lens, which is obviously have more density. So when light is passed through lens and it wants to reach to retina, the medium present there should be obviously having more density, and that's why vitreous humor is jelly-like. It is denser than aqueous humor. Definitely. I want all of you to write down the reason. इतना भी थिन नहीं हो जाता है कि पेपर जैसा हो जाए. The density of lens. See, you are getting confused about the density and radius of curvature. These are two different things. Lens material will be same. No, how density is? What is the definition of density, Ayushi? So obviously, if it is getting flat, mass will be same, volume will increase, isn't it? No, it is very good that you ask questions. I'm happy. So you need to write down the reason why vitreous humor is thicker than aqueous humor. So vitreous humor aqueous humor, many a times as a 2 marker, they ask about the difference of vitreous and aqueous. So first difference will be the location, that it is located in the chamber in front of eyelids and it is located in the chamber at the back side of eyelids. Kausha, your both the humors are working. Good. So then the second difference is aqueous humor is watery and vitreous humor is jelly-like. Aqueous humor is secreted by ciliary processes. The ciliary body is responsible for secretion of aqueous humor, and vitreous humor is secreted by retina. Retina. And let me tell you, our aqueous humor is continuously under the flow. In case of aqueous humor, the blood vessels coming into the cornea region, the aqueous humor is diffusing to blood and from blood it is coming out. So basically it is having similar component of plasma. But vitreous humor, we are born with it. It is never getting exchanged or replaced. That's why it is more vital. It is enough continuous flow. हमारी आंखों में जो aqueous humor है, it is absorbed by the blood vessel and secreted by the ciliary body, which is full of blood vessel once again. तो एक cyclic flow है उसमें. But in case of vitreous humor, it is we are born with vitreous humor and we are dying with something. नहीं तो तुम देखोगे कैसे? मतलब the bond with a fixed amount and that is maintained. उसमें कहीं कोई exchange नहीं होती. It is not absorbed, not secreted with a. We are born with a vitreous. Obviously, we are born with aqueous humor also. And let me tell you about. Actually, there is a canal which is known as Canal of Shelm. SCHLEMM. SCHLEMM. This is responsible for secretion of aqueous humor. SCHLEMM. It is liquid, no? It is outside. It should have that watery. It is difficult to capture liquid at a position. Jelly can be there. Okay. So actually, the shape of eyeball is maintained by aqueous and vitreous. Because as you can see in the diagram, the eyeball is, other than these 3 layers, it is hollow. And it needs to be hollow. वहाँ पे कोई cell नहीं रह सकता है. Why? Because light has to pass through, isn't it? So the shape of eyeball, the pressure of eyeball is maintained by these 2 liquids. And there is a disease which is called glaucoma. I will write down the spelling. It is a bit different. So glaucoma is the name of disease. In this case, the flow of aqueous humor is not maintained. So what will happen? The pressure that should be retained in the eyeball will be either too much or too less. So what will happen? Aqueous humor. I suggest all of you to listen to me and then write. If you are not listening, one line gone, you will not be able to write down. Without understanding लिखोगे तो there will be mistake, है ना? So aqueous humor exchange, this exchange amongst the blood vessels and all, if it is not proper, in that case, a person can develop glaucoma, and it is very painful because the pressure inside the eyeball is more, and a person will have pain. They need to get operated to release the pressure. Aqueous humor जितना absorb होनी चाहिए उतनी secreted होनी चाहिए. Consider करो वो absorb नहीं हो रहा है, सिर्फ secrete हो रहा है, तो what will happen? That is what is called glaucoma. And finally, this pressure can cause blindness also. क्योंकि aqueous humor आंखों से सामने से फूट के तो निकल नहीं सकता है, because sclera is there, no, which is quite tough. So then it will put a pressure on the lens and damage the retinal layer. A person can be blind. Is it clear? So now we will talk about the last but the most important layer of eye. बाकी सारे भी important है, but it is the most important because it is responsible for vision. Because it is going to create the image and convert that image into impulse. Because image cannot go to brain. If I am looking into Ayushi, like Ayushi is nodding her head, Ayushi herself cannot go there, or her image. That has to be converted into a language that can be interpreted by the brain. So that part is done by retina. So retina is optic part, and it is the innermost layer. I like marked one place as yellow spot, which is also known as fovea. So it is also known as fovea centralis. If you look into this part, this is exactly by the back side of the lens. So best image is formed at this part. Okay, and this part which is marked as blind spot, the part where optic nerve is entering into eye, is the area where retina is not there. Why? Because optic nerve को वहां तक पहुंचना है ना. There is a gap. There is an area where retina is not there. So at that part, what will happen? There will be no image formation. So that's why it is known as blind spot. Okay. Clear? So retina is having two types of cells which are known as rod cells and cone cells. Okay. So what are these cells? Actually, if you look into retina, I wish to share the screen. So in retina, this red layer which I marked here in this image is made up of basically three layers. Outer one is from inner to outer. Like inner to outer means from the side of vitreous humor to the side of choroid. There will be layers. What are these three layers? Innermost will be ganglion cells. Okay. Then there will be bipolar cell. What are these bipolar cells? Neuron, they are made up of. And then there will be photoreceptor cells. ganglion, bipolar, and photoreceptor cells. They will be assigned in 3 layers. I am saying their layers of cornea, retina. Okay. So these photoreceptor cells can be further subdivided into 2 types. One is rod and other is cone. And they have photosensitive proteins which are called photopigments. Photopigments are known as opsin, which is a protein, and other one is retinal. Retinal, if you can identify the name, retinal null is a derivative of retinol, which is vitamin A. That's why it is said that you should have enough vitamin A to have good vision. जिनको नहीं होता है बचपन में कॉड लिवर ऑयल के कैप्सूल्स खिलाए जाते हैं. So every person eating cod liver oil capsules are non-vegetarian because it is cod's liver oil, which is a fish. Rutu is under tension. Lini, I'm just informing you. So there is cone cell, which is known as phototopic vision. Opsin, OPSIN. So cone cell is known for phototopic vision. That means it is the daylight vision when light intensity is quite high and we can see the colors. We can basically detect 3 colors: red, green, and blue. And all others are made up of these 3 colors. And that's why cone cell is very much useful for looking into the color. Okay, मतलब किसी लेडीज की जिंदगी से कौन सेल चला जाए बचेगा क्या? Already it is reported that females can see more colors than men. Next is rod cells, which is known for twilight or scotopic. Photopic and scotopic. So photopic vision is responsible for by a protein which is purplish red protein, and it's known as rhodopsin. Rhodopsin is made up of retinol. Retinal. Okay. So there are optic nerve which can catch the impulse. We will talk about the vision mechanism in our next lecture, and we will continue with ear also. How we see from first position to the last position, that we are going to learn in our next lecture, and then we will talk about ear and other sense organ. I'm hopeful next day we will complete the chapter. Okay, so I'm quickly saying bye to all of you. If you have any doubt, you can ask me.